Greetings, fellow time travelers and ancient mystery hunters. Welcome back to Secrets of the Ancients, where we uncover the hidden treasures of lost civilizations and dive deep into the archaeological puzzles that have baffled humanity for millennia. I'm your archaeological guide through the corridors of time, ready to take you on the most thrilling treasure hunt of the 21st century. Today's discovery will absolutely blow your mind and challenge everything you thought you knew about the most powerful woman in ancient history. We're embarking on a quest that has consumed archaeologists for over 2,000 years, the search for Cleopatra's lost tomb. Before we unveil these earth-shattering revelations that could rewrite history itself, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, ancient seekers, you don't want to miss the incredible secrets we're about to reveal. Picture this incredible scene with me, fellow explorers. November 1922, the scorching Egyptian desert. A young water-bearer named Hussein Abd el-Rasul walks through the desolate Valley of the Kings when he stumbles upon ancient stone steps carved directly into the living rock. Little did this boy know that his footsteps would lead to one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in human history. These weren't just ordinary steps. They were the gateway to an intact pharaoh's tomb, the legendary resting place of Tutankhamun. Howard Carter and his team uncovered approximately 5,000 ancient artifacts, dazzling jewelry that sparkled like stars, magnificent painted vessels, intricate textiles woven with gold thread, and funeral masks that literally took your breath away. You've probably seen the Golden Death Mask. It became one of the most recognizable symbols of ancient Egypt worldwide. But here's the mystery that has baffled archaeologists for over 100 years. If we could discover Tutankhamun's tomb after millennia of hiding, where is the final resting place of the most powerful woman in ancient history? Fellow ancient seekers, prepare yourselves for the most thrilling archaeological hunt of our time, the quest for Cleopatra VII's lost tomb. This extraordinary queen ruled as the last active pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt from 51 to 30 BC. Her reign would determine the fate of the ancient world forever. She commanded fleets that challenged Rome, spoke 9 languages fluently, and transformed Egypt into a Mediterranean superpower. Here's what will absolutely amaze you. Despite countless ancient documents detailing Cleopatra's reign, her remarkable intellect and her world-changing political alliances, no archaeologist has ever discovered the secrets of her death or her burial site. For over 2,000 years, this mystery has remained one of archaeology's greatest unsolved puzzles. But what we're about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about this legendary queen. Meet the woman who dared to challenge 2 millennia of archaeological assumptions. Dr. Kathleen Martinez, a brilliant researcher who has dedicated decades to studying ancient texts and temples around Alexandria. But here's where her story becomes absolutely incredible: ancient mystery hunters. Martinez reached a groundbreaking conclusion that shocked the archaeological world. She theorized that everyone had been searching for Cleopatra's tomb in the wrong place entirely. Instead of beneath modern Alexandria, she believed the queen's final resting place lay hidden beneath the ancient city of Taposiris Magna, 30 kilometers west of Alexandria. Picture Taposiris Magna in its golden age. Founded in 280 BC by Ptolemy II, this magnificent city thrived on Egypt's northern coast. Tens of thousands of people worked in bustling trade centers and magnificent temples. The city pulsed with life, commerce, and the divine power of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Fellow treasure hunters, Dr. Martinez's theory appears to be absolutely correct. Here's the moment that will give you chills. Martinez and her international team of archaeologists discovered a secret underground tunnel stretching an incredible 1,300 meters beneath the sacred temple of Taposiris Magna. This wasn't just any tunnel, it was carved directly into solid bedrock with precision that would challenge modern engineers. But what they found during these excavations will absolutely blow your mind. The smoking gun discoveries include... But here's where this story becomes even more incredible. Ancient texts suggest that Cleopatra might not be buried alone. Mark Antony, the legendary Roman commander and Cleopatra's beloved partner, may rest beside her for eternity. Let's travel back in time together, ancient seekers, to witness one of history's most passionate and politically explosive love affairs. According to historical documents from Plutarch and Cassius Dio, Cleopatra and Mark Antony shared a love so powerful that they challenged the mighty Roman Senate itself. When the Senate declared Antony a traitor for his alliance with the Egyptian queen, these two legendary figures made a choice that would echo through history. Picture this dramatic scene. The year 31 BC, the azure waters near Actium become the stage for one of history's most decisive naval battles. Mark Antony's fleet faces off against Octavian's massive Roman navy. The fate of two civilizations hangs in the balance. When Octavian emerges victorious, Antony and Cleopatra flee to Egypt, where their legendary story reaches its tragic conclusion in Alexandria's royal palace. Ancient mystery hunters, prepare yourselves for one of history's most debated enigmas. The circumstances surrounding Cleopatra's death remain shrouded in legend and archaeological speculation. Ancient texts reveal she was an expert in deadly toxins and their effects, having studied with Alexandria's greatest scholars. But here's what makes this story even more incredible. No one knows for certain which version represents historical truth. Scientists and historians continue to debate these theories 2,000 years later. Fellow explorers, this isn't just any ordinary excavation. Martinez and her team face challenges that would intimidate even the most experienced archaeologists. Natural disasters have complicated this site for thousands of years. The tomb itself might now rest beneath tons of seawater and Mediterranean sediment. But here's what demonstrates the incredible determination of these modern treasure hunters. They're prepared to conduct underwater excavations using cutting-edge technology. This means archaeological work in muddy, submerged conditions that will demand enormous resources and revolutionary techniques. Martinez contacted Robert Ballard, famous for discovering the Titanic wreck. With Egypt's approval, his team began probing the waters off Alexandria's coast using advanced sonar equipment. Beneath the Mediterranean waters, they found massive stone structures reaching 2 to 3 meters high at the exact location where the ancient coastline existed millennia ago. Among these underwater ruins were basalt blocks, the same rare material used in Taposiris Magna's temple statues. The conclusion was inescapable. These weren't simple debris scattered by storms, they were the remains of a submerged city, buried beneath the waves for over 2,000 years. Recent underwater excavations have revealed. But what made Cleopatra so legendary that we're still searching for her tomb over 2 millennia later? Let's uncover the truth behind the Hollywood myths, fellow ancient seekers. Cleopatra became legendary not for her beauty, but for her extraordinary intelligence and political genius. She was a brilliant ruler who pulled Egypt from economic crisis and transformed it into a prosperous Mediterranean powerhouse. Medieval Arabic texts reveal that she mastered chemistry, mathematics, astronomy, and philosophy, possibly authoring several scientific works herself. Here's what will absolutely amaze you. Cleopatra spoke at least 9 languages fluently and possessed diplomatic skills that would impress modern world leaders. She understood that Egypt's survival depended on strategic alliances with Rome, and she used every intellectual tool at her disposal to protect her ancient kingdom. Here's where Hollywood got it completely wrong: ancient mystery hunters. Many legends claim she was an incomparable beauty who seduced powerful Romans through her physical charms alone. However, recent historical analysis reveals no contemporary evidence that her beauty was extraordinary. The image of a dazzling supermodel came from centuries of Roman propaganda and later Hollywood interpretations. The Roman Emperor Octavian, Julius Caesar's adopted son and Cleopatra's ultimate political enemy, deliberately created the image of a treacherous foreign seductress as propaganda warfare. He needed to discredit her intelligence and political legitimacy to justify Rome's conquest of Egypt. But here's the truth that will change how you see Cleopatra forever. Although born in Egypt, she wasn't ethnically Egyptian. Her ancestors traced back to Ptolemy I, one of Alexander the Great's Macedonian generals. However, the Egyptian people absolutely loved her because she learned their ancient language, the first Ptolemaic ruler to do so in 3 centuries. She showed deep respect for their sacred traditions and understood Egyptian history, culture, and religious customs better than many native-born rulers. The Carpet Gambit. When locked in civil war with her brother Ptolemy XIII, knowing she couldn't defeat him in open battle, Cleopatra devised a brilliant plan to win Julius Caesar's support. Instead of a grand, noisy arrival that Ptolemy could intercept, she chose stealth over spectacle. She had herself wrapped in expensive carpets and personally delivered to Caesar's private chambers in Alexandria. When Cleopatra emerged from those carpets, she impressed the Roman general not just with her dramatic entrance, but with her detailed knowledge of Egyptian economics, military strategy, and Mediterranean politics. They formed a powerful alliance that changed history. The Golden Barge spectacle. Later, to secure another crucial Roman alliance, she created one of history's most legendary diplomatic events. She sailed to meet Mark Antony on a golden barge with purple silk sails and silver oars. Cleopatra, dressed as Aphrodite, seated beneath a magnificent canopy while servants disguised as cupids fanned her and burned precious incense. She orchestrated this elaborate spectacle for a specific strategic reason. She knew Antony revered Greek mythology and considered himself the earthly incarnation of Dionysus. This theatrical diplomatic display impressed him so completely that he eventually became her devoted partner and military ally. Let's return to our contemporary archaeological detective, fellow ancient explorers. Kathleen Martinez represents one of the most fascinating stories in modern archaeology. This Dominican criminal lawyer turned archaeologist shows what happens when passionate determination meets rigorous scientific method. Her fascination with Cleopatra was so intense that she abandoned her successful legal career to travel to Egypt without official support or government approval. Martinez had been a brilliant student who skipped several academic grades while mastering piano, chess, swimming, and martial arts, all while growing up in a household where the Dominican Republic's brightest intellectual minds gathered for heated debates. After graduating with a law degree at just 19 years old, she had nurtured a secret passion for archaeology and ancient history for years. But here's the pivotal moment that changed everything. In 1990, during an intense discussion with her father about Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra, her father dismissed the Egyptian queen as merely a seductress who manipulated men through her beauty. Part 13. The Foundation Plaque Discovery. Here's the archaeological discovery that validated Martinez's revolutionary theory, Ancient Mystery H. If she could uncover a plaque proving the temple was dedicated to Isis, Cleopatra's patron goddess, she would have tangible archaeological proof she was excavating in the correct location. Nothing could deter her from this objective. Martinez and her international team excavated deeper than anyone before them, using ground-penetrating radar and advanced archaeological techniques. They discovered coins minted with Cleopatra's image and name, establishing a direct historical link between the legendary queen and this specific location. Then they uncovered something even more extraordinary, an underground tunnel system that once channeled sacred water from the temple directly. Until then, keep exploring the amazing treasures of our shared human heritage, fellow time travelers. Remember, the greatest archaeological discoveries are still waiting to be found. This has been Secrets of the Ancients, where ancient mysteries reveal their secrets and the past comes alive through the power of modern science. Until our next expedition through the corridors of time, keep seeking, keep discovering, and keep the spirit of archaeological